Welcome to Business Notes. I'm your host, Diane Bogino. Our guest today is Roger Stix, and Roger is the founder of Atlanta Business Video, a new type of video production company. Previously, Roger has been VP of Corporate Planning at Transistron Electronics Corporation, Senior Lending Officer at Citicorp, and Vice President at National Bank of North America. Atlanta Business Video produces affordable videos for websites, email, marketing, training, and television. ABV's proprietary stroller technology allows a video spokesperson to actually walk across your website. Other services include business video, videography, and video producing. Roger can also shoot on location for conferences, meetings, and special events. Roger, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, pleasure to be here, Diane. Thank you.
Now, Roger, you offer solutions to businesses for problems that didn't even exist 5 years ago, and you've already been doing it for 2 years. Tell us about how the origins for your business came about.
Well, I've always been interested as an avocation in photography and videography. My father used to use a 16 millimeter camera. I then, when I was still in middle school, had an SLR 35 millimeter and then a Super 8 camera, and I filmed dozens of videos in college on that camera. But the way this business really came about is I've owned many businesses over the years, and advertising never paid for itself. And so I was doing some reading, and there was an article that said in about 3 years from now, 80% of businesses are going to have video on their websites. And I thought that is not possible. Video is way too expensive for the average little guy to afford. I ran a retail store for a while, and there's no way I could have afforded video the way it used to be. But now with the better equipment and improved technology, we're able to produce professional videos at a very affordable price if the business is set up properly to do that. And the problem with some of the older videography shops, and there are a lot of really good ones here in town, is that they've set up studios that are big enough to drive a car into, and all you want is a small little business video. So it's kind of overkill. So when I realized that there was going to be a market for business videos, I thought that would be a great opportunity to merge my vocation with my avocation.
Yeah. Roger, you've become quite the video evangelist, if you will. Tell us why you think it's so important for businesses to have video on their websites today.
Well, it used to be just having a website was enough to brand you as credible. But nowadays you need something more than that. And video is a great way to establish credibility in a controlled environment. And also it has great SEO, search engine optimization effects. But most of all, the statistics are that when you go out networking, only 2% of the people you meet are going to be ready to buy. That's about the same as doing door-to-door sales. However, we know that when businesses are looking to buy to select new vendors, I believe the statistic is something like 73% of them search on the internet. So it's possible that even the people you touched last week, their company hasn't even thought about you. Something over half of the people that land on your website are actually ready to buy, and they're looking for a vendor. So to me, it makes sense to have video on your website so that you can give all those prospects the same spiel that you're giving the people that you're meeting during your networking. Not only the same spiel, the best spiel, because we can control it.
Very good. Interesting statistics. So tell me, what is your approach to creating a video?
Well, people come into us, often they know that they need to do something on the internet because their conventional advertising isn't working, or they've been reading all the statistics about the newspapers going down and suddenly realizing there's a reason for that and it's affecting me. And so they come in looking for help to develop a strategy. And for those people, we really start at step one with all the typical marketing questions. What's your product? What's your service? What are your differentiators? And look at branding, and then we help them figure out what we think is the best kind of video for them to use. For some companies, we recommend with these walk-on videos, where when you land on the site, somebody appears to actually walk across the website. And those are great for holding people on a website. Google says when people are doing searches, men only stay on a site for something like 2 to 5 seconds, and they click off if they don't see what they're looking for. Women will stay on a site around 10 seconds. So what happens is everybody's on that site, they're doing their scan, looking for the information they want. If they don't find what they want in 2 or 10 seconds, they reach their, what we call their limit of frustration, and they click the back button. And they go back to Google and then bounce to another site. So certainly, the walk-on videos are good for that. If you have another kind of issue where you're trying to explain something very complicated, making a series of little videos that you can embed in the page are very good, because that way you'll give people an option of what topic they want to hear about instead of pushing them all together and running the risk of people not listening to the tape long enough to actually hear the message.
Right. What kinds of things are your customers using videos for today?
Well, we have several different classes of customers. The speakers, the public speakers, are using them to capture presentations that they'd like to resell. Also, more and more are beginning to use them for educational purposes so they can actually see how they performed in front of the crowd. Others are taking their speeches, we're cutting them up into little snippets, kind of a best of that they're putting on their websites. And also, I've alluded before to this video SEO we do. And we actually distribute videos to all the popular websites in the US, about 30 of them. And they're all SEO'd, so they're searchable by Google. So they come up when people are doing Google searches for expert speaker trainer, and you'll come up on the first page of Google organically. And we've got several people that are using that.
Kinds of businesses today can and do use video and should use video.
Right. Oh, everybody from the smallest little mom and pop operation. A lot of the people that we're doing video for are consultants and solo entrepreneurs, because for a very affordable price you can actually come in and make a professional looking video. And it's great for branding, and they understand the value of that.
Well, that's one of the reasons you started your business. Affordable was the key word, because
Right.
people can pay an arm and a leg for video, even today, but you started your business to help the smaller business person, even medium-sized businesses, so that they could afford to put video on their websites.
Precisely.
Right, excellent. Any final words of wisdom you'd like to offer to our viewers?
I would tell the viewers that you're not average. 35 and under are much heavier users and have very different usage patterns of the internet and the other mobile devices than you do if you're over 35. So don't just ignore the internet because you don't go on it. And put together a real internet strategy. Start using it this year and fund it with real dollars.
Very good. You have been, you mentioned a while ago you had a retail store, so you've been in business a long time, both, I mean, in financial, in being out there on the front lines, if you will, even in what you do now. What one piece of advice might you give a business this year to help them grow their business?
My answer would be conservative in your outlays. Keep close control over those. In terms of what one thing you can do to stimulate growth is put together an internet strategy. That is how the customers are looking for us. We've got to be there for them. And there are lots of new affordable strategies, even for small businesses,
Okay,
implemented.
great. Thank you so much for being with us today, Roger.
Well, it's been fun. Thank you for having me.
Great. And thank you. This is Diane Bogino saying so long until next time on Business Notes.